Hello, one and all, and it's good to see y'all joining us in this absolute firecracker for preview. I say that because we saw the firecrackers recently all over the world, specifically the Burj Khalifa, which is in Dubai, and we're going to be talking about the Bonanza, which is the ILT20, and what a season's going to be. Season 3, mind you, and 3 is a company, they say. I have the ever-present Nikhil Kopa joining us, and as well to talk about everything going on in this competition, which lasts, mind you, till all the way up to Feb. It's going to be absolutely cracking. Is Akshay Kumar Swami, who's seen season 1, apparently, every game of it. First of all, boys, how excited are you with you this season, man? Like, there's some serious players, and because it just is before the IPL, it's always good to soak in some cricket action. Akshay, I'll start with you.
Yeah, it's always exciting, to be honest. I've always admitted to the fact that T20 is a format I enjoy watching, and the more the merrier when it comes to players, when it comes to franchise leagues. It's just great fun. ILT20 is another addition to that. The unique dynamic, of course, being that there's so many overseas players, taking part in an 11. Of course, it's a double-edged sword. Some might look at it and say, "Ki boss, chal kya raha hai? This is a proper khichdi." But I, for one, genuinely think this is practically the best in each of these sides. And importantly, I get to see a lot of associate players, and those are the ones I'll always be rooting for. So yeah, always up for such leagues.
I'll tell you what makes this league so special in my eyes, and I'll be very honest with you guys, because every time this league has happened, twice it's happened before, it's caught my eye because there's a chance for players from Nepal, from Italy, from Malaysia, from Bangladesh, and honestly, it's growing the game. So, Nikhil, do you echo those thoughts with the ILT20? And my question to you first up is, what makes this league so unique in your eyes?
Yeah, again, as you know, Akshay well summed up that the chance to see new people come into the setup in terms of new players, and I think that is very, very good to see somebody like an Alishan Sharafu, to see Mohammad Wasim be among people who we can see how they train, how they prepare for a game. All of this is very important. So whenever they get their next gigs, be it in any league across the world, it is a good platform for them to learn. And you have to remember there are tournaments which promote enough things, but again, when you have so many overseas talents in one team, there is just so much for you to just continue to soak in. So from that lens, it is absolutely great to be following it. And the one thing that I can assure from all the three of us is there is no one franchise, which will mean the opinions will be very unbiased and will be very straightforward in terms of how we think about this one.
Yeah, truly summed up well by Nikhil there. I feel even the format of this ILT20 is so unique, where you have 9 overseas players and the 2 UAE players over there. And I think that's what even the CEO of the ILT20 was speaking earlier, I think yesterday, David White, Akshay, where he said they are the only league in the world, and I quote him, that provides a platform for the associate countries to participate at this level, like I said. And they've got players from Nepal, Malaysia, USA, Scotland. So honestly, I can't wait to dissect the squads with y'all. For people uninitiated, living under a rock, don't understand anything about the ILT20, the next 20 minutes is yours to fire in any question that you want to ask us. We, of course, do the Monday Night Live. We'll be more than happy to do literally the Saturday night evening show in this case. So look, 6 teams and 2 cracking teams to start off proceedings later on in this evening. And I'm talking about Emirates and the Dubai Capitals. Remember, the other teams include Sharjah Warriorz, include the Abu Dhabi Knight Riders, and not to forget the Desert Vipers, or be it the Gulf Giants. So Akshay, putting on the spot here, who do you think starts favourites?
Starts favourites, slightly tricky because on paper, of course, all of these are very strong sides, but there is a slight availability issue with some of these squads. So I'm not sure how they'll shape up given that. I actually came up with the 11s, at least first 11s for each of them, just to understand kaun acha dikh raha hai. Like always, like since the first season, I've enjoyed the look of Desert Vipers. Tom Moody, the coach there, Glazer's family, there's the United connection, so I'm pretty sure Avnish already has a soft corner for them. But they've always been, big on all-rounders, be it from associate nations or be it from, test-playing nations. They've had the likes of Shadab Khan earlier. Vanindo Hasranga is still a part of the side. They also have someone like a Sherpain Rutherford. So names that I genuinely enjoy watching when it comes to T20 cricket. And this time around, Bastalida also is in there. There's Fakhar Zaman, there's Alex Hales. So very interesting side. Of course, a lot of these sides have big names, but I feel this is one side that actually can come up with a coherent 11, a strong enough 11 from the get-go, unlike most other sides who will be struggling for a bit of, their main players to come in. So that's where I feel Desert Vipers will start out strong for me.
Yeah, we'll get to the squads and break it down with each of y'all, because remember, Nix is the best person to ask any fantasy-related cricket tips, and you guys can win big. So whichever platform you guys are putting where your money, where your mouth is, you can, of course, hear this preview and understand what Nikhil's sentiments are about the league. Nix, do you echo those thoughts with Akshay? I don't, purely because even though United and that connection, I don't particularly like the Glazers, but that's a story for another day. I fancy probably, I don't know, Sharjah Warriorz, purely because Sridhar has been involved there. You could say the same with the Abu Dhabi Knight Riders, Bharat Arun there, and them being my sort of soft corners in that sense. Do you see any other team? Do you see Emirates, for example, defending their crown?
I think they are well set up to do that. Puran had absolute banger of a season in the last one, and you can tell why that side is so full of superstars in terms of role clarity. It's something that you will never be short of there, because you have Shepherd, you have Russell, you have Bravo, you have Pollard. So, and uske saath you have enough people. Dan Musley, who's someone, if you remember, Graham Swan rated very highly that this is the guy to really keep an eye on. इसके साथ you have Waqar Salam Khil, you have Vijay Visakant, who also had a good tournament last season. Kusal Perera also played well in that last final. So it feels very well-rounded. Yes, some of them might come and go, again, depending on the entire roster. But I just feel MI at this point of time, in this franchise league, I am happy to back them. In the others, maybe not.
Also, there's one more addition to that. So Vijaskant has been traded to KKR. So Allah Ghazanfar is a part of this setup, making them even more stronger. So or kya chahiye? And it's not even like it's just the overseas players or the overseas contingent that's strong. It's their associate players, their UAE players. They've got Zahoor Khan, who's arguably UAE's best bowler. They've got Mohammad Wasim, who is rather the second highest six-hitter in T20I history. So just goes on to show how good he himself is. And of course, given that overseas contingent, the likes of Pollard, Puran, Ghazanfar, and it's definitely a lethal combination. But I would still want to believe, once again, underdog FC, so I want to believe कि कोई side होगी दूसरी जो टक्कर दे सकती है. So yeah, fingers crossed for that.
Okay, so let's look ahead to this game then tonight, and we'll build our squad previews as well, and just understand what the Dubai Capitals possess, because I'm excited to see David Warner. I know there is late news about JFM potentially missing out, and Akshay can clarify that in a moment. I'll also share my screen and show you guys the squads. But what's your first initial thoughts about a squad like the Dubai Capitals? They finished runners-up in last year's competition in Australia, so they have something to go through. Top 4, top 2 potential title loading is what their fans would say. Initial impressions before I share my screen.
A lot of interesting names, to be honest, and they've also had to go for a lot of last-minute additions. So David Warner won't be available for the initial phase. Jake Fraser-McGurk won't be available. Sam Billings also won't be available. So they've had to bring in a few reinforcements. One among those that I'm looking forward to is the spacer Farhan Khan. Slingy action hasn't really played a lot of top-tier cricket. He played the Emirates T20 League and all of that. But by the looks of it, he's got great pace. He's got a great yorker. That slingy action helps him actually curve the ball into the right-hand batter, of course. So, us hisab se, I'm actually looking forward to seeing someone like him. It'll be a very interesting addition to the side. All in all, again, in terms of the names, you can see a lot of commonalities from the, say, Delhi Capital setup. Someone like a Shai Hope comes to mind, David Warner, Jake Fraser-McGurk, we've also seen them there. So, Hemang Badani is the coach. So, you can see some similarities in that sense. But all in all, not too bad side at all. They've got Brandon McMullen, a name that I was actually looking forward to seeing even at the IPL auction. I hoped, Loki was hoping कि कोई ले लेगा, a gun all-rounder, bats at number 3, can more than decently bowl, right-arm medium pace. They've got, of course, the likes of Joe Burns coming in, who's now an Italian player, so will be, of course, opting or going for one of the associate spots. Apart from that, all in all, I like, someone like an Adam Rossington, Sunrisers Eastern Cape ke liye bhi khela hai before. Basha at the top. Then, of course, if you come lower down, there's the Afghan duo of Najibullah Zadran, another name I've always loved. And who can forget Gulbadin Naib and his antiques from last year. All in all, nice little. I mean, it is one of those 11s that can actually punch above their weight. So you can't count them out directly. There's also Zaheer Khan, Ollie Stone. On paper, काफी सारे अच्छे नाम हैं who on their day can actually single-handedly win games for this side. So yeah, lots to look forward to for them. But of course, you might not have them directly as one of your top sides. But this is definitely a side that can punch. I mean, punch well above its weight.
Yeah, interesting to see how they kind of pick and choose. You mentioned Heyman Budani there. I think they have an interesting backroom staff as well. And look, I mean, it's a red team. Invariably, I do support those. So maybe Dubai Capitals is my cup of tea this year, even though my allegiances, like I said, are with Sharjah and Abu Dhabi Knight Riders. Let's quickly take a couple of comments over there just to make people more felt on this Saturday evening. Zeus saying, common man, literally, I think he means common in the sense, come on, man. What are you guys doing? Are you guys even going to cover the T20 T leg soon? I mean, who knows? We might be there. You might see us because we're cricket.com and we need to pander to as much as we can. Melville saying, good for people like us who don't know single things about the ILT20. This should help. It is literally a 101 in terms of what you can expect in season 3. As simple as that. Parth, we'll talk about all the other leagues on the dedicated platform of MNL on Monday. So join us in for that, and lots more comments coming through. There are, of course, BBL players who are apparently leaving and coming to play this league. So there is a huge importance given in this league, and it makes you think how it's going to go from strength to strength. We have some first timers as well. Always welcome you all. Roy Roger Davids, good to see you, mate. And subscribe, like, and share this to all your cricket friends. Right, let's move on to team number 2 who I want to talk about, and I'll give the ball to Nikhil with regards to this. And I really want to ask him about the Abu Dhabi Knight Riders, right? Because normally when we look at that team, it has the likes of, say, Sunil Narayan instantly comes to mind. But who else do they have here? Akshay lent a little bit of light in it. There's Andy Russell, there's David Bailey, there's Jason Holder. So it's almost like a West Indian team, Nix.
A West Indian team and a team that's full of all-rounders. You can see them right in front of you, but it's not just about them. Actually, the one thing that I like about the squad is, of course, it has Alishan Sharafu, someone who I followed from his start. So you can see him in the batting section there. You also have Asalanka, who can also bowl. Laurie Evans may not have been in the best of touches, but again, someone with a lot of experience, so you can bank him there. In the bowling department, after the all-rounders, you have so many options that they've strengthened their attack by getting somebody like Guthikesh Moti and Sufyan Mukim. The guy was so good for Pakistan very recently. So it just tells you why they're not just there. They're looking out for talents, and they're looking out for talents that can make a difference. Imagine having a lineup where you have Naren bowling 4, Sufyan bowling enough, and you have Guthikesh Moti also if the deck is doing something, and then you add Roshan Chase to it. So it is fun when you have so many all-rounders. Yes, at times it may not be great for fantasy because you may not be able to exactly say who will bowl when, but it's just the quality that I think really comes through. And the thing that catches your eye, if you can see in the wicket-keeping section, is that name who changed their fortunes in the Salt guy. I mean, how good was he for KKR in the IPL that it ensured quick starts? So they've had Antis Gauss who's played good knocks even previously for them. So all in all, you see most bases are covered. Aggressive openers, you have plenty of all-round options and depth as well with both bat and ball. So they definitely look very well-rounded. Hopefully, they can possibly make it to the knockouts is what I genuinely feel, given the quality that they have.
Oops, sorry, technical glitch over there, but that happens from time to time, especially in the space of YouTube. Nevertheless, you guys can catch all the action, remember, on FANCODE. It's streaming in English only. Go check it out, and it is going to be a sandstorm of boundaries. Make no mistake of that. It's not literally that I'm saying this off a teleprompter. I'm just a cricket fan / anchor right now, voicing my opinion about the ILT20. So if you guys have something to say, join in the comments. That was a good little summary and a summation, I should say, of the Abu Dhabi Knight Riders from Knicks over there. And I was just wondering if they could actually field all West Indians in that 9 international player category. They have Ravi Rompal as the coach as well, who may get a gig. But then, of course, they have a chance to open with Salt and Pepper at the top of the order. We've never heard that before. Right. Let's move on to team number 3. Then I'll give this one to Akshay, the Desert Vipers, or the Desert Vipers, I should say. because I'm, of course, always on the sweet tooth. With regards to the Desert Vipers, Akshay, what can you tell us? I know Tom Moody's been running the show for a while. Is that the case right now as well?
Yeah, that continues to be the case on that front over there. If I'm not wrong, sorry, when it comes to the coach, if I'm not wrong, that changed last year. James Foster took over. But apart from that, in terms of the side and the structure, there have been a few changes. Last year, we saw Shadab Khan, Shaheen Afridi, both of them being a part of the setup, including Mohammad Amir and Azam Khan. This time around, that won't be the case. It'll be Fakhar Zaman coming in. Azam Khan and Mohammad Amir will continue to be a part of the side, but both Shadab Khan and Shaheen Afridi won't be taking part. So that, in that sense, it would leave a bit of a void. But by roping in Lockie Ferguson, I feel they've come up with a more than decent replacement who will also be leading them. It is a very interesting call because we've not really seen Lockie Ferguson captain, and to be honest, this is one of the first times where I'm seeing more bowlers leading a side in a tournament than batters. You've got Sunil Narine, you've got Lockie Ferguson, there's Tim Southee as well who will be leading the side. So I mean, always up for that as well. So it'll be interesting to see how he goes about his business. But when you look at the bowling attack, and that's what interests me. Because you've got Sam Curran, Wanindu Hasranga, Luke Wood, Lockie Ferguson, Mohammad Amir, and then you add someone like Bas the leader. That's a very well-rounded bowling attack. Left-arm pacers, right-arm pacers. You've got a gun wrist spinner. You've got a couple of other spin options as well. So all in all, it's shaping up to be a very good side. You've got batting up until number 9, where Wanindu Hasranga would be plying his straight. So that way as well, not too bad at all. And given the fact that there are super subs involved here too, so that means they'll always have that additional batting option that they can go up to should there be a collapse. All in all, looking very good. That top order as well: Alex Hales, Fakhar Zaman, Basilida, Azam Khan, Sharfin Rutherford. Very aggressive options. Almost, the kind of lineup you would want to create in your head. Ki matlab aggressive batters hi bhara pada hai. There aren't any anchors per se. So yeah, looking forward to seeing a lot more of them. And yeah, like I said earlier, the side that I'll be backing this time around. So fingers crossed. Just one thing, Rahul Chopra, wicket-keeper batter, youngster, he'll also most likely be featuring a lot more frequently for them because they've not gone for too many overseas keeping options, which means they will have to spend one of their associate slots on, Rahul Chopra, and that's another guy I'm looking forward to watching. He's done fairly decently for UAE at the age group levels as well. He was a part of the Dubai Capitals last year, so unko bhi dekhne ka mauka milega. So yeah, lots to look forward to when it comes to Desert Vipers.
Yeah, let's see if the Vipers can sting any of these teams, because I generally feel, if you look at what Akshay said, the batting depth interests me over there. Lots of ex-RCB players, so I'll always keep a lookout in terms of that. And I generally feel that, like Abbas Kunde is saying in the comments, middle order is very strong with Rutherford there, Azam Khan, Pax Power. We've seen him play multiple innings in the CPL. So it just makes you think further about that team. Just to throw a quick one, Akshay, if you had to put a number where they'll finish in terms of the positions, do you think they'll get top 4 and beyond, Desert Vipers?
See, first season they finished top of the table. Last year they crashed out. They did not even make it to the top 4. So I'm hoping it'll be one of those alternate things. So this time back to being in the top 2, qualify one, and hopefully through to the finals and the trophy. So yeah, I'm going for a top 2 finish.
Okay, fair enough. Let's speedily move on to the next team and then give that to Nix. I'm talking about the Gulf Giants, because I think they are a sleeping giant with regards to this tournament so far. Just 2 seasons in and not so much to celebrate on. But let's have a quick look at their squads. Remember, all these squads are off the official website. If you guys want the latest updates and the last-minute sort of injury replacements, check it out on cricket.com. There's needless to tell you that. Right, Nix, talk to me about the Giants and what could they do, because they literally have a similar jersey to the Gujarat Giants in the WPL.
I'm glad you call them sleeping after having done something in the very first edition, but that's okay. That's just a good way to hype them up. I think Akshay spoke about anchors. There are enough here on your screen itself, and that is Ibrahim and James Vince. James Vince, remember, coming off a Boxing Day century in another franchise league. So inform people. Yeah, Adam Leith again, someone who you know can be at times Jaimatadi, but that's okay. Not in your hands. What really interests me is, again, I'm bowlers and all-rounders FC. So if you switch down, there are so many options varied. You have Ayan Khan, who's been so good in his skills. You have Blessing Muzarabani, who recently took a lot of wickets in the test match that he played. Chris Jordan, as ever present. So There is Daniel Warner who can give you swing options. There is Dominic Drakes as well. There is Rehan Ahmed who can help you with the all-rounder skills along with Taimur Mills. So I feel it's the lower middle order of this team has a lot of potential because there is Deepen Singh Aire, there is Gerard Erasmus, there is Mark Adair. So plenty of options for them to really have a very good role clarity and distribute them across the 11. So personally, I'm very much looking forward to how Ibrahim starts, if at all, because I think he's someone who can give you an assured knock, and then the rest can really flourish around him. So let's see if it eventually turns out like that, because conditions, again, you have to remember, they are paramount. So the conditions that you're playing in, they will at times have something for the new ball. So you have to just take your time and not just really go hell for leather. So I think they are well set up. Maybe you will say, okay, maybe they may not have always have the big names, but they have enough people who can do their job on their very given day. So I think it's a good underdog story. If you want to put it into comparisons to the big names that Knight Riders and MI have. But I think Gulf Giants, if they do their roles well, they could really do well.
Okay, interesting. Let's see how they will fare. Sorry for calling them a sleeping giant because they did win the first tournament of the ILT20, so that's egg in my face. But it just shows you how not well prepared I am to this. But I'll get into the course of the tournament 100%. By the way, some fantastic questions on the chat. So Ayush Kumar, I think there's Melville also asking a couple of ones looking ahead to IPL 2025, because that's what will bring the Indian audience watching the ILT20, and I hope you guys watch every ball on FANCODE, streaming in English only. Right. Essentially, guys, let's wrap up and talk about the remaining two teams. I think we have Sharjah. Are we done with Sharjah? No, we still have Sharjah, and we have MI.
Yep.
So let's go MI then first, because I just want to throw it forward to later tonight because they open proceedings over there, and already some names excite me. And Akshay, you can tell me about how the Ambani-owned MI Emirates can defend their title potentially with these names on your screen.
Yeah, I mean, it is a solid squad. Yeah, we've always come to expect this of the MI setups across across tournaments, be it the MLC, be it the SA20, be it any of these tournaments. You've always seen the MI side, pepper their squad with more than their fair share of overseas giants, superstars, and it's no different this time around. Talk about Mohammad Wasim, who is a local player, who himself is a more than decent batter, and then there's Kushal Pereira, Nicholas Pooran, Andre Fletcher, there's Kyron Pula. There's so many top order aggressive batting options that they've got, and then with the ball they've got Alzari Joseph, Waqar Salam Khel, there's Allah Ghazanfar, there's Romario Shepherd, Dan Mosley. So again, plenty of names, plenty of options for them to look at. And interestingly, again, they also look at these. Why it's important for viewers like us to look at someone like an MI Emirates is that they actually use these leagues to scout players. Dan Mosley was a nobody when they actually picked him in the very first season. He's been with the MI setup for 3 years now, and it's only the last year that we've come to hear of him. And we all know what MI did with someone like a Bevan James. I know Bevan Jacobs. I know he's not played the IPL, but you can similarly see such names coming through to the IPL, and that's what we all are looking for, right? Just unknown names out of nowhere coming in and actually making a mark. So in that sense also, it's not just the big names, it's actually some of those left field options that they go to and who actually end up doing well for them. So I'm extremely looking forward to watching that happen. Allah Ghazanfar, this will be his first proper season after having broken through last year. Really looking forward to watching him, because we all know that he'll be wearing the same MI blue jersey in the IPL 3 months from now. So this will be a nice little test for him, and also a nice little precursor for us to just have a look at him and how he bowls and what sort of lengths does he do, how does he attack batters, will he be actually able to trouble batters or not. So a very challenging test awaits him, so lots to look forward to that. And yeah, Robinson coaches the side, so there's a lot of that Mumbai flavor there. It's a very typical MI side that is definitely going to be a tournament beater, and they will be looking to defend their title ruthlessly, to say the least.
Interesting points there, Akshay, because it makes me think about some players in that setup, such as Cristiano Ronaldo, or I should say Tom Banton, who looks absolutely identical, or that Karnataka lad there who plays for the USA, Kenjige. He also features as well. So whether he gets a start or not. So it'll be interesting to see MI Emirates go about defending their title in season 3 of the ILT20 on FANCODE, of course. Right, Ayush Kumar, great point that you mentioned there, because this will be absolute carnage, and it'll be literally living up to the tournament Moto, which is the sandstorm of boundaries. If Nicholas Pooran does open for Emma and just kills it, but great names throughout that roster. Finally, last but certainly not least, it is the Sharjah Warriors that we want to talk about, and they do play their cricket in the iconic Sharjah Stadium, which is always good to see. Let's talk about Sharjah Warriors, who of course don a similar jersey to the UP Warriors, and I wonder why I say that, but it is what it is, and I want to give Nikhil that opportunity to talk about this team who has players which are random, but if you're putting them in a team and building a T20 team, you're thinking, this team might do pretty well. So let's get on with it then, instead of my fluff. There are some exciting names. Nikhil, take it away. What catches your eye here in terms of the batters, at least, first up?
Yeah, they're all high mercurial or high variance, so to say, as you put it. The kind of folks that if they come off, they can single-handedly do the job for them, and the franchise will hope that they can do that because they haven't quite had the best of the times. But again, you are never too late to join the party. So genuinely looking forward to if even two of these six batters, if they can come good consistently, whether it is Avishka or Jason or even Tom Colley, Kerma, Johnson, Chaz. Now again, they don't need at times surfaces to tell or go harder. They just go harder themselves. You look at their keepers as well. You have Tim Seifert there, who's been going Jai Mata Di from ball one, and his partner there for potential options are Kusal Mendes, Matthew. None of them need any invitation. So I think the onus will be there on them to take off well, because you look at the list of all-rounders they have, they're all good names. You have Daniel Sams, Harmeet Singh, who had a great time in the World Cup. You have Karim Jannat, you have Kimo Paul, who at times for his franchises has batted higher up the order as well, at times at 3 and 4. So it tells you how much there is potential. Luke Wells has done well in the English setup as well. And of course, you have the evergreen Rohan Mustafa and the Malaysian lad Virandeep Singh playing. So I think they have the people there, but some consistency and some clarity there will help, because the bowling is good. These two guys right in front of you, Junaid Siddiqui and Mohammad Jawadullah, they have been among the wickets almost as much. It's like a blind game for me that whenever they are bowling first, you can always trust them to take wickets. Now you've added Dilshan Madhushanka, Adam Milne, Adil Rashid. So plenty of quality there, and Tim Zawi, now he's free of all the burden. Hoping he can lead well and just put the the jigsaw puzzle well, so that he can use the right people at the right time. Because there are people, and to go by the underdog story that Akshay has, it's always good to see people who use their resources well go on and do something great, because you can always have the big names and expect them to come good. But it's when stories like these that really catch your eye, if they are able to perform them.
Yeah, some very interesting names. I want to see if that lad from Malaysia does get the nod and then does well, because there'll be stories, like Nikhil said, pouring out of different parts of the world, and that's what we like to see. Right, we have a very little time in this preview, but we hope we've spoken about all the teams. The action's going to get underway, so of course, go check it out on FANCODE. I just want to take a couple of questions, and of course, ask the boys their predictions, because Akshay might have hinted it at the top of the show. But if you guys have just joined us, quickly like this video for starters and help us reach a certain goal in terms of 150K next on cricket.com. So Akshay, where are we going with our predictions? Will it be the Emirates to do magic once again in the UAE, or do you see another team giving them a run for their money?
I'm just hoping for a new side to win. We saw Gulf Giants versus Desert Vipers in the first season. We saw Dubai Capitals versus Emirates. It'll be pretty cool if it is Abu Dhabi Knight Riders versus Sharjah Warriors this time around, which means each of the six sides would have made it to the finals. And that's actually a great way to market your tournament. If each of these sides have performed well, it just goes out to show or reflect the quality in the league. So I'm hoping something like that happens. And like I said, I'll be backing the Desert Vipers to go through. But yeah, if I have to be rational, then it's very hard to look past Emirates. I'll stick with my heart. I'll go with Desert Vipers for now.
Okay, Desert Vipers for Akshay. For Nix, I'm guessing it's the Sharjah Warriors, because he loves his UP Warriors in the WPL. So is that a normal mathing case from me?
No, underdog story, yes. But yeah, as I said, one franchise league where I do not mind, am I doing well? It's this one. Purely for Nicky P.
Purely for Nicky P. He has to live up to the initials in one way or the other. But look, we are going to be doing live shows with the ILT20. Not every day, but we're designated a Friday night live, so you guys can get interactive. We can look ahead to the games. And of course, catch all the coverage of it on FANCODE. Right, my prediction for this tournament and this season 3 of ILT20, probably I'll give it to the Knight Riders. Normally, I don't like that franchise for whatever reasons because I'm an RCB fan, but good luck to them. I think they are a stellar side led by some great guys in the coaching staff. A couple of questions, like I promised, to give to Akshay and Nix before we just say goodbye. Melville asking this one. It's the elephant in the room. Players to watch for ahead of IPL 2025. So give me 2 each from your side. And I know it'll be maybe CSK oriented, but who cares? Nix, I'll start with you.
I think there are plenty of names like that. One name that I really want to see, not the CSK name, that is Ala Gajanfar, because I think the more he plays, the more people may start to figure. So I want to see if people are able to really conjure a plan already, because again, just before the IPL, it is important for people to see if they can do well. So he's the one name that I'm looking forward to. The other name, again, Sharfan Rutherford. I kept asking for him in every single for every single team possible in the auction. He's gone to Gujarat. He didn't quite have the great BBL, but if he can do well here, I'll hope he can come good then for GT as well, because he'll have to fill a bigger role of Miller there. So hopefully he can also do well.
Okay, I like that. Let me know in the comments if you guys agree with Nikhil. Akshay, similar question to you. Any RCB guys ahead of this one?
Phil Salt for sure, from an RCB lens. Phil Salt is someone I'll be looking forward to. But again, I'm not sure in terms of availability, given that there's the India series and all of that. So for me, it's actually less from an IPL lens or an RCB lens. It's more from that associate lens. So 2 players I'm genuinely looking forward to. One is Brandon McMullen. I have personally rated him highly. He did very well in the last T20 World Cup. We all remember that knock against Australia. So hopefully he will get a lot of chances, and he does well. In fact, I wouldn't mind seeing that I consider him to be better than Basilida. Both are in the same mold. Number 3 batter, good all-rounder, but Basilida, of course, has hogged the limelight, rightfully so. But I think Brandon's not too far behind, so I'm hoping to see a lot of good things from him. Another name, this is actually a batter I saw for the first time in the last season of the ILT20, and that's why I was like, okay, this is an interesting batter. I want to watch more of him. He lit up the T20 World Cup and then did not too badly at the MLC as well. That's Andries Gauss, the other wicket-keeping batter at the at the ADKR. So Andries Gauss is another batter, aggressive batter at the top. South African, moved to the USA for greener pastures. Has not done too badly. Last year, he got a couple of games, won the player of the match in one of them. And that's what led him to, being fast-tracked to the US side and all of it. So it just goes on to show that ILT20 as a platform, it's not just about the overseas legends and all of them coming in. It's also about grooming talents at the grassroots level. In fact, recently there were a couple of statements made that should leagues like these persist and all of that. Guys, before we all forget, ILT20 also has a Gulf Cricket Championship that they organize under their name. So Qatar, Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, all of them play a tournament. They would hardly have ever gotten chances. It's entirely sponsored by the ILT20. So before we jump to conclusions or come up with opinions, it's important to understand where where these tournaments are actually making a difference. So yeah, like I said, these 2 names I'm looking forward to, and fingers crossed, all these associate names will be able to lit up the upcoming season of the ILT20.
Well done, boys. I think that's a good summation of the ILT20. Just a mega preview in some ways or the other. I think quickly from my side, Phil Salt definitely does excite me from RCB Leds, but who knows who can win it? We've all given you our predictions.
Not Lucky.
I mean, Lockie blows hot, blows cold, but him captaining, I want to see how he marshals the troops, because like Akshay mentioned, it'll be interesting to see how the bowlers kind of go head on in terms of being captains and stuff like that. Shivam Keshri, if you're new to the channel, you lent your prediction in terms of Emirates winning the competition. So good on y'all. And I know it's been a little bit of a bummer in terms of not many viewers, but I think it'll pick up at the course. And I think even the tournament will pick up the course. But Nick, Akshay, good evening to you all. And have a great Saturday night ahead. I think I'll catch you all on Monday for the Monday Night Live. And we'll do more ILT20 things, guys. Just watch this space. We're trying to, of course, promote this league, which is a good one, giving so many countries to take part in the game that we all love. And that's what we all want. Right. Time for me to say goodbye. A little reminder, we're doing a space on X tomorrow, Sunday, 2:30 p.m. If you guys love that platform, you can join us then. We'll be talking about all the teams and reflecting on the first game this evening. Of course, catch it right now on FANCODE. Dubai Capitals against the MI Emirates. It's going to be a cracker. Who's going to win? Let us know in the comments. But right now, right here, it's time for me to say goodbye and have a fantastic start to your week. Cheers.